Everyone, I'm here to defend the idea that technology is good for education. So, why is technology good for education? Technology helps us make our lessons more memorable for the students. Students love technology.
Yay.
I remember I loved it when I was little growing up.
Film strips.
And so it really helps, I think, to teach kids of today. Technology improves the learning environment so that it'll make the kids want to learn instead of having them say, oh, I don't want to go to school, it's boring, like I've had so many times when I ask kids, oh, how's school? Boring. Well, do students think technology is boring? Usually not. They love it. So if we can make kids think that education and school means technology, I think we'll get them to want to learn. Okay, so what's important? So how does technology help with students in education? Engagement. It makes students want to learn. It engages them. Just like a good movie will engage a student. Well, that's what technology does. And speaking of movies, that's what makes technology so good. Making movies. Okay, and authenticity. Also, when a student does a project and they know that the only person who's going to see it is the teacher and maybe their mom or dad, well, then they may think, oh, I'm just doing this for the grade, right? So why should I care? I mean, I'm going to do a good job, but just enough to get a good grade. But what if that student knows that that project will be seen by, well, maybe they like a girl or a boy in the class, and if that person is someone that they want to impress, and they will, well, I think they'll want to do a better job in their project, right? Because no one wants to look like, well, not such a smart person in front of their peers. Students want to impress their peers. That's very important for them. So I think students will be inspired to do better in their projects if they know that everyone's going to see it. Also, technology improves participation because the student is creating something. Like, for example, if the project is creating a video or creating content for a wiki, where the student knows that everyone, potentially the whole world, will be able to see their work, then that's going to keep the student honest. Again, similar to them wanting to impress their friends, they're going to see, whoa, man, everyone's going to be watching what I do and watching my video, and if I make the video look, well, not so good, then that makes me look bad. And it makes me look bad in front of my friends. I don't want that. I got to make this really a good project. So students will want to do a good job for that reason. Openness and access to information means that because of the internet, students will have more access to information so that that'll improve their projects. It'll let them check to see, well, is this the information that the teacher is telling me or that the book is giving me, is that really good information? They'll be able to look it up for themselves instead of just relying on the book and saying, okay, the book has to be right. Someone smart wrote it, so I have to believe them just because the teacher says. No, the internet allows them to check on the teacher and make sure that they got their facts straight. Collaboration is also something that technology makes easier. Because, for example, in a wiki, students can be working on a group project where everyone in the group will be able to see what they're putting on the wiki. And so the students will be encouraged to do a good job, especially when the teacher is able to check the wiki and see what each student contributed to the project. So if the student is kind of, well, I guess I'll say the word slacker and doesn't do their part, the teacher will know. They won't be able to hide it from the teacher. Okay, so that is a very big improvement for group projects using technology. And that, I would say, is not every reason why technology is a good idea, but I gave you plenty to work on. Thank you.
Hey, sir, can I ask a few questions?
Sure.
Should we just stop messing around with technology and just get back to reading, writing, arithmetic, beat your butt with a hickory stick?
Well, what I think is technology is not going to be the only tool to use. I don't believe in just discarding completely reading and writing. I don't mean to say that, but I think technology is a very important tool for the future.
Rather than teaching technology, shouldn't we just teach the standards?
But technology can help us teach the standards. Technology makes the standards easier to understand. And also, if you tell a student, okay, we're going to learn standards today. Oh, I'm sure they're really going to be excited about that. But what if you tell them that we're going to watch a movie about something? And maybe you don't tell them that the movie is related to the standards, because that could turn them off. But as long as they learn the standards through the movie, then they learned it. You know?
I mean, shouldn't they be reading more books and watching fewer movies?
Why?
Because books is what gets you through college.
But movies can help you learn too. I'm not going to say that we should completely forget about books. Technology is a part of the, it's another tool that we can use to teach, and books can be a part of that too. I just don't believe in concentrating on only one thing. So I would believe in using both books and technology. Movies, having the kids make their own movies too, since something that kids make, like a movie or a wiki, something that they can show to their friends or whatever, is going to really inspire them, I think, to try to do a better job, put more effort, and it'll make the lesson much more memorable, because they'll be able to see something that they created as opposed to trying to remember something they read in a book.
Isn't it like a paper something they created? They're an essay? Isn't that also something they created?
Yes, but a movie is much more attention-grabbing, much more memorable.
Okay, who's not on Steve's? Who's on the enemy? Who's the enemy of Steve? Now's the time to go ahead and ask a question which is going to trip him up.
Are we doing our debates now or like after?
Nah, just make him sweat a little bit before I let him go.
So, and my understanding is that we've been having technology in the classroom for decades now, and it shows that it's made very little difference in education and test scores, and we've pumped millions of dollars into this with very little results. So why should we continue to spend money on education, on technology for better education, when there's no proof that anything's going to get better with it?
Mm-hmm. I'll answer that. Well, I mean, I'll grant you that yeah, if you look, there are some statistics that say that schools have not improved, despite all the money that we spent, and I don't want to say waste, but I believe we spent on computers and on wiring the classrooms. But I would question how well the teachers have been taught to use that technology to the best advantage. I don't think that's where something that's been done properly. I would say that's not been done properly. Teachers have not been really used. And I'll tell you why. Because our teachers are taught to concentrate on teaching the standards, and that means mostly teaching out of a book. They're not being taught to use collaborative projects using technology to teach the kids. They're saying that doesn't work. They're being told exactly, look, computers have been proven not to work, so they're completely not teaching teachers how to use computers. As if books are going to be doing any better.
One more question from the peanut gallery. No more questions?
So I think if we made a little bit more effort, a lot more effort would be better in making sure we get a program that really teaches the kids something that is in the standards, because we do have to teach the standards. Then I think our scores will improve. And also, of course, teaching our teachers to better utilize the programs that we do get. Because from what I've seen, teachers do, and I won't point fingers at anybody, but they just send the kids to the computer lab, and then they're basically just making sure that they don't get on the internet. But other than that, the kids are on their own.
Send kids to the computer lab so they won't get on the internet.
Well, yeah.